Here we are at my perfect desk again. And in this episode, we reminisce with Chad Nowak about a lot of things, including Mr. Steele getting jalapeños on his junk. I hope y'all like it.
All right, so we've been talking for like an hour and a half. So I've got one last question for you. In all of the content that you ever made, did you ever make something that was, talking about perfection and talking about what being the content creator does to warp you? Did you ever make something that was too real to show to the outside world?
No.
Okay.
I always stand to be corrected, but thinking back, no. I've always fought to, this is me, I'm real. So whatever I put out there, for good, bad, whatever, that's it. You don't have to like it, but this is my channel, this is my social media app or whatever, and I'm just being me. And so long as I'm not physically thrusting it upon you or forcing you to change whatever you're doing or whatever, I have no apologies for that, because I believe that my thought processes in life, my morals in life, the big thing is that I don't want to force anyone else to do anything. Be what you want to be and be free on that sort of stuff. So I think at the same time, I always try to be a little bit mindful that, okay, maybe I might be exposing something that's a little bit controversial. But my aim is never to totally screw someone's life or someone's livelihood.
Yeah.
And I think that's probably where it gets too real. There are some things that you keep it in private.
Right. Yes.
Yeah. Like, for example, having I've got a YouTube channel that is primarily about gliding and FPV videos. If I then went up there, had a relationship failure with someone or a friendship failure with someone, and then did a video where I basically talked shit about them the entire time, just because I'm hurt, that's getting a bit more. That's very real, but that's too real. There's a private side that needs to stay a private side and stay between those involved. Now, I don't believe that I ever went there. I always stand to be corrected. There's a lot of things that happened in my life. So, hey, maybe there has been something and I can't, and I've shut it out. But those kinds of things. I think there's a limit to what I won't post, and that's. I think that would be the case of where I would go too far. But I've tried to not do that. So I hope that answers your question.
No, I think that does. It's definitely. I had not thought of it from the standpoint of releasing you call it a tirade or a bit of information that would damage someone else. That is maybe you're right. That is too real. If that's.
I know I've probably hurt careers of people by doing things, but hey, that happens from time to time. The one thing that I remember when you're talking about being real, it's like the one thing that I think about it is I can't even remember the company, the guy's name, or the product. But we had a racing drone that was a molded carbon frame, and we reviewed it in Rotor Riot. Now, this guy apparently was always on Kappa saying, "You need to review this. Need to review this. Need to review this. Need to review this. Need to review this." So okay, we went ahead and reviewed. Kappa put it on my desk, and I went, "What the fuck is this?" Now, I'm not the world's best engineer, but I have an engineering mind. I understand composites and things like this. Yeah. And yes, a molded airframe technically is a good way to go, but this was molded in all the wrong ways. It had tilted motors. He was touting that it was faster because of aerodynamics, and knowing how basic aerodynamics work at the speeds that we're flying, that profile drag is the least important thing you need to worry about in this area and all that sort of stuff. And yes, okay, we're talking a difference of maybe 1% or something like that, without being in a wind tunnel. There's a lot of assumptions on my part, but I'm sitting there going, okay, cool, we'll go out there. So we did the edit of this thing, and we spent a couple of days, and the first we filmed it, and it came across as, in performance, this is a piece of shit. It's totally worthless. Why the fuck would you buy it? And the edit was just really, really not very favorable at all.
Yeah.
And it's like, this is gonna kill his business, because we had a really big swing. We were able to swing the market one way or whatever with whatever we said. We had to be careful.
Yeah.
So Kappa and I talked about it, and we combined. One of my ideas was these blind tests that people do on products to compare them. I hated the blind tests because they were still biased in a certain way, because you knew what you were testing. Right. So what I wanted to do was I wanted to get blind tests, but I wanted you to test a quad. You didn't know what part of the quad you were testing. You didn't even know what kind of quad you were flying. So we got the quad, and we went to the multi-GP nationals, and we got a number of different quads, and we got the top pilots to fly them, but they never saw the quad. So they had their goggles on, and they flew the quads, and they didn't know what they were flying, and I got them to test it. Give reactions, and just let their reactions speak for themselves without knowing what, and then show them the quads afterwards.
Yeah.
And one was a cheap, crappy quad, and the other one was an expensive molded carbon quad and all that stuff. And the molded carbon quad didn't exactly be on top with bells and whistles and all that stuff. And we put that out there, and it was real and it was truthful, but we still had to try and bias it in their favor as much as we could. But it was real, and we knew when we put it out there that it was going to hurt this particular person.
Right.
And of course, when it came out there, he reacted in a very unfavorable way, and the fanboys that would follow him lost their shit. And it was quite funny, because we re-edited it, and we biased it as much as we could in their direction. And that was almost I guess that's one of those, to re-answer your question, that initial edit was probably too real to put out, because it was too unfavorable to that person. So we tried to, it still didn't help them.
Yeah.
But we changed it. And
go ahead.
What was it? Man, I'm going to have to go and look back at the Rotor. There was one Rotor Riot episode where it was edited, and I went, no way.
Really?
Yeah. I just said, you're going to, I was even at the point of I will distance myself from. That's what it was. The drinking and drones video.
Yes, I remember that one.
The drinking versus drone video, the first edit that came out for that, was basically just 10 minutes of trying to make it cool that people were getting drunk and flying.
Yeah.
That's the way that the edit came out. Whether or not that was the intention of the editor or not, I don't know. Yeah. But it came out, and I just went, I will publicly distance myself from that video if you bring that out. You need to change it, and change it seriously.
Yeah.
And the second edit video came out, and it was a lot of fun, and it was was playing with the whole, hey, we're all drunk and being extreme. But there was also the scientific side to it. Yeah, but it was an extreme video. But the first one was embarrassing. And I went, no way, not coming close to that. No, thank you very much.
Yeah.
And the second one that came out was night and day compared to the first one.
Yeah. I heard some interesting, I don't remember where I heard it. But Steele, I think Steele was in that one, and he just kept getting better.
Yeah, yeah.
Like he kept getting better the drunker he got.
Yeah. I've still got it on here. I've got video footage of Steele ranting away in a complete drunken stupor, not making any sense. And then he's getting mad at me because he's like, are you live streaming right now? Because I'm filming him, and I'm sort of going, I don't know, am I? He's going, because if you're live streaming, then I'm going to tell the fans what they need to know. And then he's like, I want to know. And I'm like going, no, I'm not going to show you. And then he's trying to chase after me and then falling. Right. It's my most favorite video of Steele, apart from when he got chili on his junk. They're my two favorite videos of Steele.
What?
I've got to talk to Tommy because Tommy's got the other half of the video. Some of it's actually put out there. Steele being Steele, he's very particular about what he needs to do and what he needs to eat and all that sort of stuff. We were in Los Angeles. I can't remember what we were filming, but we were in an Airbnb and we're like, we need to get ready. We're going to get ready. Right. And of course, Steele's always about half an hour behind everyone else. Mm-hmm. So it's like, no, I've got to do my hair. Dude, it's been 2 fucking hours. Like, get your shit together. Right. So he's like, no, I'm not leaving until I have breakfast. And we're like, normally you'd like, screw your breakfast, we need to get work. But we know what like Steele is like when he doesn't have his breakfast and turns into a 2-year-old that doesn't have his bottle. So, okay, cool. So he gets his toast and he puts his spread on there. And then he's got to get his jalapeno chilies and puts them on there and all that sort of stuff, like the typical fucking donut. Like, if you've ever lived with a vegan, you'll understand what I'm talking about. Okay, I got you. Gets all this other stuff. Then apparently he goes and washes his hands. But he didn't wash his hands good enough. And we're driving in the car. I don't know what highway. It's some big highway in Los Angeles. And his face is going red. And we're like, what's wrong, Steele? He's in the back with Tommy. I'm in the front I'm in the front seat. And he's like, so I touched myself. And I obviously didn't wash my hands good enough.
Oh my god!
So you know what it's like when you get a chili burn? It's not instant. It sort of like fades in.
Yeah,
so of course, me and Tommy were like the best friends that they're like. Instead of helping him, we did the best thing a friends could. Is we both got our phones and we started recording.
Started recording it. Oh
his face
my
gets
god!
redder and redder, and he starts sweating. And then he's like, fuck! And he's like, pull over. And Kappa's going, there's nowhere that I can pull over. He's going, there's like serious shit is going to happen if you don't pull over. To the point where he takes his seatbelt off and he jumps over on the front. He sits on my lap in the front seat while we're driving down at 60 miles an hour down the highway.
Oh my god.
And then opens up his short like this. And vents cool air from the air conditioner down so that he can cool his junk. So there's a I think Tommy's got a Facebook post on there of Steele cools his junk. It's the funniest shit I've ever seen. Like, we were in hysterics. Here's this grown man sitting on my lap trying to cool his junk while going down the highway in Los Angeles.
Oh, that is amazing. I think that's the best story that's ever been told on this channel.
I have no idea how we got to this part of the story. But yeah, it was a memorable one. I spoke to the guys. We got so many sort of behind the scenes videos that we've kept, and I said we really need to like just bring them out there because there's some funny as shit stuff that just never got released like that. Any of the old school fans I'm sure would love to see.
Oh my god, that I could title this.
Steele cools his junk.
Chad Nowak reminisces on the time Steele got jalapeños on his penis.
Man.
All right. I think we're going to end it on that note. Oh, man. Thank you for coming on, buddy. This has been great.
You're welcome. Anytime.
Ladies and gentlemen, you have been watching The Michael Rollins Show because we can't think of a better name. And you have been with Chad Nowak, aka FinalGlideAUS. And one day, maybe he'll release another flight video. But until then, we get to hear him on the show. I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.
Honestly, I don't think that I have laughed harder during an interview. It makes me wish that we could go back and see some of the outtakes and the craziness that happened during the early Rotor Riot days, because I guarantee that there is a lot of stuff that went on off camera, shenanigans, just all kinds of stuff that we'll never know about. And that's okay, but I bet some of it would be funny. Some of it might be disturbing. But you know what? That's okay. I want to thank Chad. Honestly, in my opinion, which may be imperfect, this was the best interview that I've ever had. It was real and it was raw, and we talked about some hard, deep subjects, and we did it with a legend, a guy who has done a lot and suffered a lot, and he's still on his feet. Thank you, Chad, for coming on and being a part of the show again. I have a feeling this is not the last time we're going to hear from Chad. It has been a real joy talking to him. And if you've made it this far in the video, to let you know what kind of a guy he is, after the drama that happened with the first video, he checked in on me. He said, "Hey, I want to talk to you. I want to see you. I want to see how you're doing." And I appreciate that. It was real and it was genuine. We had a great chat, and he was really concerned that, I'd been through whatever I'd been through. Not to say that, it wasn't crazy, but hey, it is what it is at this point. I want to thank my patrons. You guys are great. You're always awesome. You're always understanding. And you know what? I keep my chin up because of you. If you'd like to be a patron, there's a link in the description below. There's also a link to all of Chad's social media, whatever. You know what? You're probably not going to see much new. If you're new to this hobby and you've never watched the Final Glide videos, do yourself a favor and go watch them, because they're good. And you need to remember that the stuff that he was doing was on hardware that was ancient. All right, folks, that's it. I'm out. This concludes the Chad Nowak episodes. And thank you for riding along. I'll talk to you soon.